our sandwich between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Dallas Cowboys. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
There's Hill. He'll get this off to Taylor. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They go play fake, and it's Hill. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 44-yard line. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now on 2nd and 13, Hill finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 28. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Hill on first down. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Touchdown! Jelani Woods, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Again, it's Johnson.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. A good chunk on the ground, and the keeper 17 yards, first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Prescott on first down. Open man downfield is Johnson. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 23 yards on the play.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Here's Prescott. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dalton Schultz, 30 yards. And the Cowboys are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
On 2nd and 12, Hill. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Byron Coward gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Another try after the first down sack. Prescott. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing, Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll give up the middle to Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 7-7, our score after 1. Now it's 2nd and 9. They go to Johnson again. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
On 2nd and goal, Prescott to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off, didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Prescott going to keep again. Now, he's going to be very close to a first down. Good running, but looks like he's a yard short. 4th down, Prescott. Touchdown! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, 21.6 miles per hour. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago. Their second straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along. And from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively. And this team now has an identity. And they're playing to it and playing well.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first. On play action, they'll throw. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion. A 1st down throw for Prescott. Completing it to the right, and the ball is knocked out. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball. Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the... He's got him in, complete. 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 79 yards. And the Colts are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession. It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units in there. Kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
47. Kill.
Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here's Hill now after the interception. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Well, I think the hope is, you know, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On 2nd and 11 now. Hill. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Taysom Hill, a 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Colts take a 3-touchdown lead.
So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time,
and Prescott his 3rd interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Marquise Bell.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score 49. Cowboys 14.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your play.
And now here is another interception. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression, my goodness indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And a route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where lead
fights through and now a crease. Touchdown, Cowboys. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Well, it is still a lopsided score, so they're going to try a second quarter onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Play fake. Hill. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back.
And he's going to go down again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Now Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Hill's throw into the hands of Pittman here.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hill. Big loss here as he's taken down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. A final shot before break. Hill.
And that's going to be taken in by Ashton Doolin. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Buying time to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A gain of 32 that time.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Prescott to throw it.
Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
that might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled. And they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hill into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
25 yards that time.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A great play there. With touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game.
And the Cowboys take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Boswell for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
They'll try the air now with Hill.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Dallas, Texas is the spot. Third quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now it's Hill off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
On the counter, it's Taylor.
He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Hill. Touchdown Colts.
Jelani Woods.
His second touchdown of the night.
And the Colts will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And the Colts are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Here's Hill.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A very solid gain of 27.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. Running from the gun, Johnson.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Johnson will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Shreds it with a stiff arm. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
This will be fielded at the 17. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
first down. Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Finding room at midfield.
A big play there for Indy. 41 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit.
And now here is another interception.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee.
Hey, here we go, I got you.
They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.